It turns out the man who's in jail facing charges tonight had more contact with young children than we first thought.
We told you how 42-year-old Alan Newberry was fired from the Children's Home of Northern Kentucky after he was hit with multiple child pornography charges. And now Local 12 has learned that Newberry has worked in other children's facilities and a couple in Cincinnati, apparently. Joe Webb joins us with the latest on the story you'll see only here on Local 12. Joe, is that right?
That's right, Rob. You know, when we broke the story last week about Alan Newberry working at the Children's Home, social media just lit up. I had several people contact me directly through my Joe Webb Local 12 News Facebook page telling me that they had worked with Newberry at St. Joseph's Orphanage in Monfort Heights before he went to the Children's Home of Northern Kentucky. We now know that he worked at least 3 and possibly 4 children's facilities before his child pornography arrest 2 weeks ago.
When Kentucky's Attorney General raided Alan Newberry's apartment in Park Hills January 13th, he was taken to jail and fired from his job at Children's Home of Northern Kentucky. Prosecutor Rob Sanders immediately issued a grand jury subpoena for his employment records.
The Children's Home's been cooperative. They turned over everything they had. And one of the things we got was Mr. Newberry's application that he filled out when he was seeking employment there. And it showed that he had worked with at least 3 prior employers, all of which, by the title of the various employers, we could tell that that also had to do with children.
Sanders' office contacted all of them to let them know about Newberry's child pornography arrest. The executive director of Boys Hope, Girls Hope of Cincinnati confirmed Newberry worked here from 2005 to 2007. He left for another job and had no issues while on the job there. He was also an employee of St. Joseph Orphanage until March 2010 when he resigned. A spokesperson says they had no concerns or complaints raised about him while he worked there. Sean Garner worked with Newberry at St. Joseph's for several years.
Eccentric, definitely. He definitely marched to his own beat. I think there were some concerns that a lot of people had talked about, but again, it was nothing that rose to the level where a child was reporting something to us. He was working 3rd shift, which provided a different level of accessibility to kids. I believe in one of the facilities he's worked in Cincinnati, he lived on campus, so he was there 24/7 with some kids.
So far, no child has stepped forward with any allegations. Kenton County Police are actively investigating his time at the Children's Home.
We certainly will leave no stone unturned in that we will talk to every single child that he ever had contact with, even if it was just for one night.
Now, the prosecutor, Mr. Sanders, says that Newberry had a lot of contact with children at the Children's Home. He described Newberry as a supervisor in a dormitory setting. Newberry also worked at least 1 children's home in Kansas City. Synergy Services of Kansas City confirmed that he worked there several years ago as a children's advocate, but like the other places that we talked to today, Rob, they say there were no accusations of any wrongdoing, nothing said by any of the children of any issues while he was working there. But there are the issues raised by the fact that he had this child pornography arrest, and the authorities are going to look into it.
Do you know, Joe, are they going to look into the children in the Ohio side of the river and also Kansas City or not?
The folks in Kansas City just recently found out about it. They don't know what they're going to do. We haven't been able to confirm in Ohio if anybody's going to be looking at it here yet, but we are going to stay on top of it.
Joe, thanks very much. Once again, Alan Newberry has only been charged with those 4 counts of child pornography in Kentucky. Investigators are going through thousands of confiscated files to determine if there's been a link between the images and any children he supervised there.